Hey guys, I just thought I'd come out here and do my best in remembering from memory the card for tomorrow night's AEW All Elite Wrestling's All Out pay-per-view. This is the third straight, this is the third straight legit pay-per-view. We're not just talking, something you can watch for free on Bleacher Report Live or anything like that. We're talking something you pay for on Bleacher Report Live, that you pay for on pay-per-view itself. And this event is emanating from the place where they did All In last year, and that is the Sears Center. And the card looks pretty good. The card looks actually pretty good. So let's run it down a little bit. Let's start off with the buy-in show. Yeah, sorry about that. Just had an interruption by people. I guess they've had one too many. It's Labor Day weekend, of course, so what do you expect? But anyway, let's start off with the buy-in show, which is going to have several matches on it. Let's start off with Private Party. Private Party taking on Angelico and Jack Evans. Private Party is mostly well known for the independent run, especially in House of Glory, where they were once tag team champions, I believe. They had the final House of Glory show about a month ago against the Young Bucks, and now here, since they've been making a huge impression among a lot of people, they will be competing in the buy-in show to All Out. They will face Angelico and Jack Evans, who you would know from Lucha Underground and AAA, their time there. This ought to be a good match. A lot of people are predicting Private Party to win. I would have to go with that as well. But knowing AEW, they wanted to defer themselves and make themselves different from everybody else. So, I've got a feeling predictions when it comes to their shows and their matches and all that are going to be totally up in the air. But I'm going to do something unlike anybody else has done. I'm going to go with Angelico and Jack Evans. I think because here's the thing. I think AEW knows people expect Private Party to win, but I think if you put Angelico and Jack Evans over, it'll be something they wouldn't expect. So yeah, I'm going to go with Angelico and Jack Evans. Now the other match on the pre-show, or the buy-in show, is SoCal Uncensored. I think this is on the buy-in show. And they will go against, in a 6-man tag, Luchasaurus, Marco Stunt, and Jungle Boy. Now, everybody is assuming, since SoCal Uncensored is the more established faction and group, that they should get the win, which I would agree with, and I wouldn't be against. They're very over with the crowd, but I think right now AEW is about making newer stars, trying to establish that talent that doesn't really get an opportunity to shine and show what they can do. They went elsewhere. So I'm going to go with Luchasaurus, Marco Stunt, and Jungle Boy to get the win, or the upset, or whatever you want to call it. That's what I see happening. Then we have the 21-woman, not man, 21-woman Casino Battle Royal. The winner of the Battle Royal will become one of the participants in the inaugural AEW Women's World Championship match on the inaugural AEW on TNT broadcast of Wednesday Night Dynamite. And there's a lot of good names in here. You got Britt Baker, you got Teal Piper, Roddy Piper's daughter, Nyla Rose, Awesome Kong, Aja Kong's obviously going to be in there, Jazz. Ivelisse is going to be in this. There's reports that TL Dashwood is going to be there. So that'll be interesting. Teela, the former Emma in WWE, will be there. She'll be part of that, even though she's part of Impact. So some good names. Brandy Rose obviously is going to be in there. So the question though is, who are they going to go with? Nobody knows about Kylie Ray, what's going on. Hopefully she'll show up. But I'm going to have to go, obviously, with the favorite. I'm going to have to go with Britt Baker. One, it looks like, as everybody's predicted, she's being pushed as one of the faces, the main event players of that women's division. So I predict Britt Baker to get the win, and the way I predict it happening is it's going to come down to Brandy, Awesome Kong, Aja Kong, and Britt. And what's going to happen is, as Aja Kong's trying to eliminate Brandy, Awesome Kong will try to save her and accidentally not just eliminate Brandy, but what I'm saying is, what I predict will happen is it will come down to those four ladies. And what will happen is Britt Baker will win the match, but it will be because of a miscommunication or something between Awesome Kong and Brandy. What will happen is Aja Kong, will try to eliminate Brandy, and as she's doing so, Awesome Kong will come up from behind, old school style, and toss Aja Kong over. But in the process, Aja Kong will probably pull Brandy down with her. So Brandy will end up being eliminated, and that could cause some dissension. This would allow Britt Baker to sneak up from behind and eliminate Awesome Kong, who would probably have a heated discussion with Brandy or maybe even Aja. So I predict Britt Baker to win. Who she faces, though, that's going to be up to maybe the pay-per-view itself. Because one of the official matches on the pay-per-view is a Joshi match between Riho and Hikaru. I think that's her name. Hikaru. I'm sorry if I pronounced it wrong. But these two ladies have been on AEW's pay-per-views before, but separately, never together. They were actually they were on the buy-in show to, I think, Fyter Fest last year. Not Fyter Fest, but Fight for the Fallen last month. So now they're going to be opponents. And a lot of people are saying that the winner of this is going to be positioned favorably as being the other participant, the other half of that women's championship matchup. And I wouldn't blame them if that happens. But the question is, who goes over? Well, I think this is going to be a strong style. People are going to enjoy it. And it's a toss-up, but I'm going to go with Riho. So if what the rumors are projecting is correct, then the inaugural women's match at Wednesday Night Dynamite on October 2nd, if the rumors are correct, speculation is correct, will be Britt Baker versus Riho. Winner becomes the women's champion. That's what I see. Next up, we have the Cracker Barrel Clash. Basically a triple threat, three-way dance, no disqualification obviously, between Darby Allin, Joey Janela, and Jimmy Havoc. This is one of those occasions where when these kind of matches get booked, that the AEW is going to prove that on pay-per-view, that unlike on television where they may not be able to do this kind of stuff as much, on pay-per-view, these men or even women will go all out and give you everything. So it's going to be a crazy match, there's no doubt, because all three men are, basically daredevils, risk takers, but in sort of the extreme, throw caution to the wind, hardcore style like way. So the question is, who goes over? People are projecting Darby Allin because of his impressive showing against Cody to that time limit draw. And I would go with that too. But again, I'm going to surprise people, and I'm going to go with Jimmy Havoc. I think Jimmy needs this win. Janela could use it as well, but I'm going to go with Havoc because I can see him being positioned as part of their hardcore division or whatever division they're going to call it, where basically people can go all out, go crazy, get as violent as they want to, or try to at least get as violent as they want to when it comes to the matches they're involved in. So I'm going to go with Jimmy Havoc to win the match. That's who I'm going to go with. Then we have the Dark Order against the Best Friends. The winner gets a bye in the tournament to crown the AEW World Tag Team Champions. This ought to be a good matchup. A lot of people are projecting the Dark Order to win because they got so much momentum on their side, and I would agree with that. But I think, well, actually, honestly, I am going to go with the Dark Order because even though it would be nice to see Beretta and Taylor win, I think right now there's too much stock in the Dark Order, and I think the plan is to have the Dark Order be in the finals of the tournament and face maybe the Young Bucks or the Lucha Brothers. That's my projection. That's my projection there. Okay. So, with that out of the way, with that one, let's talk about basically, what's the next matchup? Oh yeah, speaking of Lucha Brothers, let's talk about them and the Young Bucks in a ladder match for the AAA Mega Tag Team titles, or the World Tag Team titles, if you will. Lucha Brothers offering the opportunity to the Young Bucks to kind of see finally who the best is in a match where God only knows what these four guys will do. I mean, we know how violent Pentagón Jr. could get. Just ask Sami Callihan in their match they had last year at Slammiversary. But honestly, I know it's going to be a show stealer. There is no doubt about that. But the question is, who comes out on top here? Who becomes the winner? Who, goes on to become the AAA Tag Team Champions? And I'm going to have to go with the Young Bucks. I mean, I know people are probably getting sick and tired of Matt and Nick always winning and everything, but think about it this way. The Lucha Brothers are probably going to become the AEW Tag Team Champions in return. That's obvious. That's the obvious projection that they're going with. That these guys are going to probably be the inaugural Tag Team champions if the Young Bucks go over here. Now, if the Young Bucks don't go over, then I expect the Young Bucks to be the inaugural Tag Team champs. But I'm going to go with, but as far as this match goes, I should say, I am going to go with the Young Bucks. This is going to be a great match. It's going to steal the show. There's no doubt about that. So, yeah, I'm going to go with the Young Bucks. Now we get to another match which has a very interesting backstory. See, this match originally was built off what happened at the end of Double or Nothing when Jon Moxley, FKA Dean Ambrose, debuted and attacked not only Jericho but then went on to target mostly Kenny Omega. And that ended, I should say, with Kenny Omega being Death Valley dropped, or attitude adjusted, whatever you want to call it, off the stack of chips, off the big stack of chips on the stage and onto the ground, onto a plastic glass or whatever, plexiglass-like structure that didn't break. So this has been going on for a while. Omega did get his payback a little bit after the unsanctioned match Moxley had with Janela at Fyter Fest. So basically it was all set, and these guys were obviously going to have a Street Fighter knockout drag out affair where anything would go. Unfortunately, what happened is Moxley ended up having to pull out due to the fact that the MRSA in his elbow that he got out before has returned. So he has to have surgery again, which is going to keep him out at least for a couple of weeks. but he mentioned basically that he will be good enough to go when it comes to the AEW TNT debut. So, with that said, Omega, shoot-wise, work shoot, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to say, cut a promo on Moxley pulling out. Basically, he was cutting a promo on Moxley to build for the match. Then during the promo, the lights come up and he finds out the truth. He finds out what's going on. Then cuts another one on Moxley. And then that's when we find out afterwards that he's going to be facing somebody new. Somebody that his fellow elitist, Adam Page, was supposed to face at Double or Nothing. And that is Pac, FKA Neville of the WWE. So Pac is going to be coming in and officially, finally, making his AEW debut. The reason he didn't do it originally at Double or Nothing was because at the time, he was the Dragon Gate 8 Open the Gate. He was the Dragon Gate champion. He was the Open the Gate champion for Dragon Gate, and he has a lot of pride for Dragon Gate, a lot of respect and love for them because that's where he got to start. So obviously, he did not want to be a champion that even in a non-title situation lost the match to Adam Page, and then go back and probably successfully defend his title elsewhere. So basically, long story short, Pac pulled out because of that. They did an angle where he injured Adam Page's leg when Page made a surprise appearance in the UK to face him, and basically what was billed as an unscheduled match. And now Pac is no longer the Open the Gate champion for Dragon Gate. So now Pac is free and available to face or work for AEW and maybe put people over without a problem. And in this case, he's going to be facing Omega. So this is going to be a really fun matchup. Everybody, I'll tell you this. There are people like Deluxe Man, Allin, or Alex, I should say, of Deluxe Man's World, that are like, hey, it's bad. Hey, it's bad news that we don't get Moxley and Omega right now. But heck, it's great news in return that we're going to get Pac and Omega. So, can't wait to see what they do with that. But who wins? You see, that's a good question. Obviously, originally, the plan looked like they were going to go with Moxley and going over Omega, or at least Moxley and Omega going to a no contest. I don't know if they'll still go that route. But I'm going to go with Omega on this one. I know people will think, well, Pac should go over, and he's basically allowing himself to step in for somebody that, he shouldn't have to step in for. He's taking time out of his schedule where he could be resting and all that to come in and do this, and that's true. That is true, but I'm going to go, obviously, with Omega to go over Pac, and what's going to be a fantastic matchup. Then we get to the first of all double main event. I'm just checking my time here. And that's Cody Rhodes, against Shawn Spears, FKA Ty Dillinger, from the WWE and NXT. And this match, the story behind this match is very good. They've been building it up for a while. Obviously, Spears takes offense to being told he's a good hand. Obviously, he was told this when he was in WWE. He didn't like it then. He doesn't like it now. He wants to basically prove that he's not just a good hand. He's a player. He's a main event star. And already, I'll tell you this, he's being treated as one no matter how you look at it. So how this started, in case you don't know, is he nailed Cody in the head legitimately with a steel chair at Fyter Fest. Cody had to get 10 stitches or more in his skull. Thank God he didn't suffer a concussion. And now they've been building to this match where Shawn, on one of the episodes of Being the Elite, told Jim Ross, JR, that Cody is a leech, that he's going to leech on to anybody to make himself a success. So You know, and he even dropped names like Damian Sandow, Ted DiBiase Jr., stuff like that. And that's, where are they now? So it's got some legitimacy, if not reality, real life scenarios behind it. And Shawn, doing this, revealed who his advisor is going to be, because his advisor knows the Rhodes family, and his advisor happens to be Tully Blanchard. We know the history, if you're an old school fan, of Blanchard and Dusty. So, especially when it came to individuals like Baby Doll and all that. So this is going to be a really interesting physical match. I'm going to put it that way. It's going to be a very physical match, no matter how you look at it. Let me just check my time here for a second, guys. Okay. Like I said, this is going to be a physical match. It's going to be a violent match, in a sense. But the question is, who goes over, and who's going to be in Cody's? Basically his. Hold on for a sec. Again, like I said, the question is, who is going to be in Cody's corner and who is going to win? Well, the obvious choice of the person in Cody's corner is going to be Dustin. Dustin is a little bit younger than Tully, so it would make sense that Dustin, who's younger, stronger, and bigger than Tully is, to oppose him. So it will be really interesting to see what happens there. But who goes over? A lot of people are projecting Cody, because Cody's put himself in a position to where, hey, he's got to be that white knight that overcomes the odds. I would agree with that, but I'm going to go with Shawn Spears. Right now, Spears, FKA Dillinger, has too much momentum behind him. And who knows, maybe they'll have Dustin turn on his brother and then maybe side with Spears and say, look, you know, I know what, you know, Spears is right. You are doing exactly everything he says you are. So we'll have to wait and see, but I'm going to go with Shawn Spears on this one. And then we get to the main event for the inaugural AEW World Heavyweight Championship. It's Chris Jericho against Hangman Adam Page. This will be good. They've been building towards it. They actually added fuel to it with Jericho legitimately busting Page's eye open at Fight for the Fallen. So the question is, who will go over? A lot of people say Chris Jericho, and that would be an obvious choice. He has the star power and everything, and if word gets out, hey, Chris Jericho is the inaugural champion of this AEW promotion, that would be that would definitely get people talking and tuning in. If they said, oh, Adam Page is the new inaugural champion, that might get people to tune in, but then it might get people thinking, really? So they just made this so one of the elite could be the champ? You know how people are. But I'm going to go with Chris Jericho on this. I'm going to go with the favorite, because obviously, like I said, they're building towards that. Well, not building towards it, but basically, Chris has the more name value, has the bigger star, has basically the bigger spotlight on him, and his name being associated as first ever AEW World Heavyweight Champion is going to get people to tune in to the debut episode on TNT. So I'm going to go with Chris Jericho to go over Adam Page. But I think Adam will get the belt, and it probably will be on the inaugural debut on TNT. But that's about all I could say for my predictions, guys, for AEW's All Out tomorrow night on pay-per-view. What do you guys think? Who do you feel is going to go over in these matches? Let me know down below. Comment if you like. And I will talk to y'all later. I got to get ready for my bus to arrive.